It doesn't. Hello, I'm Simon Hackett from Hackett Estates. Let's talk about the question that keeps Americans up at night. What happens to my taxes when I move to Spain? The short answer is you'll still file US taxes because America taxes its citizens a worldwide income regardless of where you live. But with proper planning, you can minimise or even eliminate what you actually owe. Let me explain how. The United States and Spain have a tax treaty designed to prevent double taxation. This treaty is your friend. It establishes rules for income, pensions, and how capital gains are taxed when you're a resident of one country, but you have ties to another. Without it, you could be taxed twice on the same income. So the key provisions are that income is generally taxed in your country of residence, US Social Security is taxed only by the US, private pensions are typically taxed where you live, for example Spain if you're a resident here, and capital gains are usually taxed in your country of residence as well. So when do you become a tax resident? Well, Spain uses the simple 183-day rule. Spend more than 183 days in Spain during a calendar year and you're considered a tax resident here, regardless of your visa status. Once you're a tax resident, you'll file annual Spanish tax returns and declare worldwide income. Spain has progressive income tax rates ranging from 19% up to 47% on income above 300,000, and rates slightly vary by region because of how Spain is governed. Spain also has a wealth tax on net assets exceeding roughly 700,000 to €1,000,000, again depending on the region. But Andalusia, where Sotogrande is located, offers significant exemptions, which is another piece of good news about being here. But here's a game changer, the Beckham Law. If you're moving to Spain for work or business, this special tax regime allows new residents to be taxed as non-residents for up to 6 years. So that means you're only taxed on Spanish-sourced income at a flat rate of 24%, rather than on worldwide income at progressive rates up to 47%. Who wouldn't want that? So who qualifies? You need to not have been a Spanish tax resident in the prior 10 years. You need to be moving to Spain for employment or to manage a business. And you need to apply within 6 months of obtaining your work permit or starting that employment. If eligible, the Beckham Law offers massive tax savings and simplicity, but consult a tax advisor immediately upon moving here to sort this out. Now here's what doesn't change. Your US tax obligations, unfortunately. You'll file Form 1040 annually, reporting worldwide income, but you may owe little or no US tax, thanks to the foreign earned income exclusion, which excludes up to approximately $120,000 of foreign earned income from US taxation. The foreign tax credit allows you to offset US taxes owed by taxes already paid to Spain. If your Spanish taxes are higher, which they often are, you may owe nothing to the IRS. You'll also need to file the FBAR if your foreign bank accounts combined exceed 10,000 at any point during the year, and failure to file can result in penalties of about $10,000 or more per violation. So this isn't optional. The biggest mistakes that Americans can make are not declaring the foreign accounts, as this can trigger serious penalties. Also, incorrectly structuring property ownership. How you hold Spanish property matters enormously for tax in both countries. Failing to plan for estate and inheritance taxes. Spain's inheritance tax varies by region. The US also has estate tax. Without proper planning, your heirs could face double taxation, which nobody wants. And the biggest mistake, not working with cross-border tax advisors. You need to get professional advisors fluent in both systems who can coordinate strategies and work out the best outcome for you. So here's the bottom line. Tax planning for Spain is not DIY territory. The penalties for getting it wrong are exceptionally higher than the cost of getting it right. But with proper structure and advisors, most Americans can minimize their tax burden significantly. The key is proactive planning before the problems arise. In the next video, we'll cover something much more straightforward and frankly, much better than what you're used to in the US. Spain's amazing healthcare system. World-class care at a fraction of the US cost. But remember, all this is available in much more detail in our free guide, The American's Guide to Relocating to Spain, that you can download using the link you can find in the description below. It's everything you need to know in one place. See you next time.